Into the Fog is a year-round podcast dedicated to covering Halloween Horror Nights Orlando.
From speculation season and announcements to opening night and the final screams of the event, we break down everything HHN.
Follow along for weekly discussions, rumors, news, and all things Halloween Horror Nights. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Into the Fog, an HHN podcast. I'm your host, Woody, and with me, as always, my co-host, Dustin.
What's up, everybody? You can catch us at our socials at Into the Fog Pod on both IG and TikTok, and Into the Fog HHN on X and YouTube. Click the link tree below, and we'll have all of our socials attached. And we are also now on Apple Podcasts. So everyone that loves Apple Podcasts and all of our Apple users, that'll also be in the link tree as well.
Yep. So this past week for HHN Orlando, we had a lot of things announced and come out about the event, from scare zones to street experience to shows and even a leaked house that is yet to be announced. Also, a lot of props and stages have popped up throughout the park. Our first announcement we got was on July 8th. It was in the FearFact stage, and it is Nightmare Fuel, Blood Noir. And the description for this show is: embark on a dark musical journey and resist temptations as death-defying stunts lure you deep into a vampire-ridden metropolis. So we got Nightmare Fuel back, and as of today, the Fuel Girls actually confirmed that they will be back. So they confirmed on their Instagram that they would be at HHN 35. So what's your thoughts, D, about Nightmare Fuel coming back?
I mean, I'm kind of indifferent. I think it's a good show. If you've never seen it, it's definitely a great first watch. If you have experienced Nightmare Fuel before, it's a decent way to grab some food, grab some drinks, and kind of take a break from house to house and just kind of rest your feet a little bit. But I'm hoping we get of a different theme.
Yeah, I mean, this one is this one's definitely going to be a different theme because it's vampires, which is
the other one was more circus.
It was a circus, which is crazy because the whole theme of the event this year is a circus. It's always like they're a year off every time because we've had vampires like the last 2 years at HHN, and they haven't done a vampire. Then the only vampires we have this year, which I guess it kind of falls in line as Sinners, but yeah, it's a different theme. We'll probably just see it once to say we saw it because since the Fuel Girls came out today and announced that they will be back, it's going to be just like it has been every year where you got to wait 45 minutes to an hour early just to get in there, be packed like sardines, and it's just going to be hot because all the fire and stuff like that. But I'm eager to see if they actually change up because, the way it's sounding, we're going from a decrepit carnival to now a metropolis, so a city, which I'm eager to see that. So hopefully it's different enough to where we can actually it's a whole new setting.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Wood, but Express does not apply to the long wait times at these shows, correct?
No. None of the shows you cannot use Express for.
I thought
only
so.
Only RIP tours. You have a special entrance because you're premium basically. But the only thing I'm kind of bummed about is because the whole time on the spec maps, everybody has thought that this show was going to be a Jack Carnival of Carnage.
That would have made the most sense with the theme, like you mentioned.
Yeah, because, it goes with the theme. It's an anniversary year. And, I was really looking forward to a new show. But, Nightmare Fuel is cool. I love the acrobats and stuff that they do. So, like I said, we'll probably just see it one time.
And I'm guessing...
Unless it's totally different. We just, we fall into the cult this year. We go every time. Because I know some people that have, fell into the cult, and now they go every time they go to HHN, they go see that show.
And if it's a great scene, then I don't mind seeing it a few times. And to your point about it not being more carnival theme with Jack and Oddfellow being the main sale of this year, I'm assuming HHN was under the impression that we had enough clowns and circus themed areas, which we'll get to further down in the segment. But
I wonder. Because, Oddfellow was once a vampire. I wonder if, he'll have, a cameo in the show like as like an Easter egg for like the people that know HHN.
Yeah, know the lore behind it. They can probably get some enjoyment through it. And that, honestly, if that's not a bad take, if they end up doing that, that way that'll do nothing but pump up their sales for that specific area.
Yeah, plus it'll intertwine it more with the actual event, because most people know, these big years like the 35 years, this is the 35th. Everything normally ties together or is callbacks to past years. So hopefully,
look, I hope it's a great show, because
it's going to be good. It's just whether or not we want to wait 45 minutes to an hour just to go see it.
Hey, I hope it's so good that it ends up being an hour and a half, 2 hours, because that can only mean
all the people be flooding to it, and that'll be lower times for the houses, which that's what we're there for anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
I'm going to take us.
I'm hyped for it though. We're going to see it this year. We didn't see it last year. We didn't feel like the wait for the amount of time we were there was justified to sit there for that long.
Probably one of the nights that we have Express, we can see it, and that way, because we don't have to worry about rushing through and sitting through lines.
But I'm eager to see the new take on Nightmare Fuel. It's going to be interesting.
So going into our second announcement, what we thought was going to be Scare Zone week, because the zone dropped at the typical 10:35 on a Monday, and that is Infernal Carnival of Nightmares. Brief description of this Scare Zone: Jack and Dr. Oddfellow invite you to step right up and see what horrors hide in every shadow at a sinister spectacle decades in the making. So what's your immediate thoughts on this?
I mean, I hope it's like the concept art from what we saw at the MegaCon panel, where they had the stream lights coming down to the arches, and it's just like an actual carnival feel.
What do you think does you notice the red O, red N, the beginning of each word has some type of meaning?
It spells out icons. So I know we are probably going to have Jack and Oddfellow just based off of the announcement art. There's Jack and Oddfellow in it, but with it saying icon, there might be other icons walking around throughout the zone, because typically this entrance zone, not only is it right there at the beginning of the park, but it flows down Minions Way, and then also towards Hollywood, like to where the Brown Derby hat company is.
So that'd be a great cameo spot for our boy Art the Clown.
Yeah, he hadn't been announced yet. I heard that it could be coming. I know he'll probably be at Hollywood. I don't know if he'll be at our event this year. But with that said, we got some construction updates, and this is the entrance zone. So this is, once you walk through the gates, this is the first thing you see. And those two brown mesh structures, I think those are stages. And we're going to have Jack and Oddfellow on each side. And they're going to be, I hope they're live mic, so they can be talking to the crowd and welcoming people.
That's one thing I did enjoy from HN 33 that we didn't really get in 34, which 34, there were just a lot of different heavy hitters, icons, if you will. So, I mean, you had your statues.
Yeah, we had Sergio up there, and you had all the statues of each IP house as you walk through. But we know this is the entrance zone because it was confirmed by Mike Aiello on Twitter, and he stated that much like our entry to the conservatory last year, this is a full tease and surprises of what lies beyond. So we'll probably have our typical people from either the houses that have been announced or characters and stuff from past years.
Be a nice touch. I definitely, one of my wish lists is kind of what you mentioned at the beginning, is both Jack and Oddfellow being hot mic'd. Yes. There's nothing like entering into one of these types of events and to get the blood and the horror juices flowing, then interactive horror as soon as you walk in. I mean, the dark and gloomy music is one thing, but I feel like the hot mic is definitely a great touch to get the day or get the night started.
And also with this with them being hot mic, they can actually have like a conversation with the crowd. Like if somebody was to say something back to them, they can actually respond, and it's not just like a set of lines that have been given.
Almost like a recording, or like you said,
like what you would experience in like a house, like where they hit their little foot pedal and their sound cue goes off, and that's all you hear. But right here on the truss, you'll see all the speakers and stuff, and right there, the main part that goes across, that's where the Halloween Horror Nights sign will be. So this is literally the entrance to the park.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're going to go all out with Jack and Oddfellow being the main feature. That's the first thing you see as soon as you walk through the gates.
And it's also a lot. I mean, it's different than past ones where like Sinister and Surreal, they were up top and they were hot mic. That was from your first year, so HHN 33.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had the truss and all was way taller. So they were way up above the crowd. This is a lot shorter, if you can tell. So maybe what I'm thinking would be dope is if they like put a big top circus tent over that, and it like kind of like where you turn to the right to go to Hollywood, or you keep going straight down Minions and go to New York, and like you had your two entrances into like the actual circus. That would be, since it's so short, I figured that maybe that they could put that over it so it wouldn't be affected by wind as much.
That, and I agree with that, because I mean, how cool would it be walking up to this view in a circus type entrance tent blocks, like where you see Despicable Me and Minions, like that's all blocked by this tent, and you have to walk through, interact with Jack and Oddfellow, and then now you're in HHN.
Yep, and then like after you walk out, that's when you'll see characters from throughout the park, like just like from like you might see Michael B. Jordan's characters from the Sinner's House or stuff like that, or like Pinhead might be walking around, which would be sweet to see. Or even past icons, they'll be like if we're walking through the big top tent, and then you say we're turning right. We're going to Hollywood, and we see, because the next zone, like with that being said, our third announcement for the week of Scare Zone week, Sideshow of Decay, and this was announced on Tuesday at the typical 10:35, and the zone description says Cindy's time has come where Dr. Oddfellow's dark sorcery, she has opened a portal into the carnival junkyard, using it to restructure decayed nightmares from the past and that are back to haunt you. So Sydney Kane, she was the unused icon from like 2011, I think it was.
Islands.
Yeah, when it was at Islands, when all the children were disappearing in the area, so they had to scrap her. So she's coming back. And as you can see, this skull in the actual art, it looks like the skull from Dr. Oddfellow's Cane of Souls. And the eye on the left-hand side, it's got the swirl in it as if it was a portal. And the right side, it looks like it's like decaying. So like a portal, like it's kind of like a messed up version of it. And then you got Dr. Oddfellow's symbol up there at the top of the skull. So Sydney's, it's her time to come back. So this was our second announcement of what we thought was Scare Zone Week. And it's this is confirmed to be in Hollywood, where Masquerade was last year, by Michaello on X. It said he stated that Hollywood Boulevard will become Sydney's sideshow. Amplified by Dr. Oddfellow's powers, Sydney restructures and reanimates and reveals past terrors within this infernal carnival. So she is bringing past, I don't know if it's past icons or if it's past characters or what, but this is some of the construction that is actually going on. This has popped up in the park. And this is one of the main set pieces. There's also been a few stages added. And
so maybe she'll have like all the past icons just on display on these stages.
Yeah, that would be sweet. I could see her dad, the caretaker, being in there. Or like in this clown, it's actually got a few Easter eggs in it also. See like the saw blades on the top? That represents Jack the Clown, because his Carnival of Carnage literally the sign for Carnival of Carnage was the saw blades. And then the green eye, it could stand for either Eddie, which is Jack Schmidt's brother, or Dr. Oddfellow. And then the other eye, which looks like a ninja star kind of. That's the best thing I could describe it as.
Ninja star.
Yeah, that represents Chance because one of her eyes is literally the same way. So that if that's true, Jack might be in this zone also. His brother Eddie and Chance, all three of them are like cohesive and like are part of the same story because Chance and Jack are together as a couple. Eddie is Jack's brother. So, but Dr. Oddfellow opened up this portal for Sydney to come back and bring all these terrors. So that's one of the, and then this is one of the stages that has popped up also. And see that there's a fog port right there at the bottom, so there's definitely going to be somebody on this stage. I don't know if it's going to be an icon or past characters. It kind of reminds me of the stages we had last year in Masquerade, where we had all the different types of people on them, like the vampires.
Looks like there's going to be a lot of interaction on these scare zones. Like,
yeah,
I can see a lot of people huddling around, like especially if someone's up there interacting with the crowd. I could see where there's going to be a lot of heavy traffic in these areas.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to seeing if it is past icons because, I mean, I've only seen Oddfellow, Sinister, and Surreal. That's the only ones I've seen because my first year was the year before Oddfellow, so 31. So I've never seen any I've never seen Jack. So I'm very excited to see, especially if it's these past icons, which we will get to see Cindy Kane. So
that'd be nice.
Yeah, that she's getting her time to shine since her year kind of got scrapped.
Yeah. So if we fast forward to Wednesday of last week, that came and what we thought would be a continuation of Scare Zone Week. We all saw 10:35 come and go, which is typically when we'll see these announcements. But Horror Night was silent. So it was a bit alarming, but then 11:02 a.m. then came our next announcement. So at the Lagoon show, we have Stranger Things returns to Hawkins, and this is the Lagoon show, which the description shows that the music, the memories, and the show tune into a special WSQK broadcast and relive your favorite moments from the 5 seasons of Stranger Things. So, I mean, I think previous episodes, I think you called this out as one of your wish lists.
Yeah, dude, it was a rumor early in the season, and I didn't think it had actual legs because, I think if you go back to our very first spec map, I had mentioned that as a rumor for the Lagoon show, and then it lost its legs basically. So everybody was thinking it was just going to be another original concept.
Yeah, and really, everybody was kind of thrown off with the announcement not coming at the normal time. But with Horror Nights, there's always a reason behind why they break their usual pattern or cycle.
Yep.
Everyone in the community expected the next Scare Zone announcement on that date and time, and they expected it to be a heavily rumored Fortnite zone in Central Park, but instead we get the Lagoon show. The timing of that announcement was no coincidence either. It came out on the 10th anniversary of the premiere of Stranger Things,
Yep.
and it was revealed at 11:02. A nod to the event ending on November 2nd. Horror
Nights always has a rhyme or reason to what they do. And the reason that everybody thought it was going to be the infamous Fortnite zone is because 10:35 happened. And every year, Horror Nights, they start at the entrance zone, then they work their way to Hollywood, and their next zone would be Central Park. They work their way around the park counterclockwise is what they do every year. And the next on the list would be Fortnite in Central Park. Well, 11:02 came, or 10:35 came, nothing happened. So everybody was like, oh, it's going to be a shared scare zone. So Hollywood was going to get it too. So 12 o'clock, everybody's expecting, or everybody was waiting until 12 o'clock because it's a shared IP zone. So they would be announced it would be a dual coast zone. And then 11:02, which is the nod to the very last day of HHN. And this is the end of an era for Stranger Things at Horror Nights. So it's like a double nod.
I mean, what a send-off.
And it was on the 10th anniversary of the first episode of Stranger Things coming out. So there's a rhyme to reason to everything Horror Nights does.
mean, the stars align perfectly for that.
Yeah,
kind
like
of announcement.
that's my thing. They have a reason to the madness.
I mean, they drop these subtle details, and I'm excited about the show. I mean,
Same.
Nothing's worse than, I mean, you're at the end of the night and you want a kind of like a nightcap to a very busy night of nothing but haunted houses, and you get this very mid show.
Yeah.
And actually glad that they actually took their time and put a little effort into not only planning the show, because we haven't seen it yet, obviously, but also if the show is anywhere near the type of effort that they put into the announcement, I think we're in for a treat.
Like with all the details, like the specific details matching the announcement. And like you said, there's a lot of uproar in the community about this show because a lot of people are like, this is taking the place of something else. They should have just put this in the Bourne Spectacular Theater as like a little side thing. I don't get it. I'm excited for the show. It's because I do love Stranger Things. There's no doubt. And I think the Lagoon show needed an IP because like the original concept that we got last year, I don't really think it worked. It didn't draw crowds like you would think it would. And with this show being Stranger Things, a lot more people are going to stop or take the time out of their day to go see this show, this Lagoon show. So therefore, shorter wait times in houses if it's a people eater. So a lot of people are upset about it. I think it's a good thing. And plus, just imagine the music playing throughout the park, like Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush, Master of Puppets, and even like in the 5th season, in the last like part of the last episode, Purple Rain was playing. So like everything turns purple and see everything. Like it's going to be a tribute to the actual show. I love the show, so I'm personally excited for this. I know you got some homework you got to do before you go because you said a couple episodes ago that you made a proclamation that you were going to watch it all.
We're transitioning into something I have watched and probably my most exciting thing to talk about. Our next announcement, I thought Horror Nights was going to go back to Scare Zone Week, kind of what you had mentioned. But they continue to go into a different direction, and they announced one of their first street experiences, and that is no other than Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I am stoked for this.
Dude, I cannot wait. I got to see my boy Shorty.
Yeah, I think you and I talked about it off camera. Me and a few coworkers dressed up as Killer Clowns from Outer Space at work for a work haunted house last year. So that was my first introduction to these characters.
Yeah, dude, the movie is like B horror. If you haven't seen Killer Clowns, you have got to watch Killer Clowns. It's a great show.
It is awesome for what it actually.
Yeah, for what it is, it's good. Yes. And the description for this: clown around and find out. The Killer Clowns from Outer Space are coming to the streets of Universal Orlando.
KAFO.
Clown around and find out. But I'm excited to see them because they've been to the park or they've been to Horror Nights before. So,
and this is what I was mentioning when we were talking about Nightmare Fuel, about maybe HHN thing for getting enough clown carnival themed. I mean, every spot in the park is pretty much being taken over by our clown friends.
Yeah, and how we know this is a scare zone is because Horror Nights would have included scare zone, or they would have actually said the words in the announcement. So we know this is a street experience, and I'm not sure if it is a roaming horde or if they're going to be in Sting Alley like they were before. That's like right there by Transformers, the little alley where you could walk from San Francisco to Transformers.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind them hanging around in the Chainsaw Alley next to Simpsons. I mean, you're over there near the Simpsons Road. I mean, perfect space to like wreak terror on people, especially people who are deathly afraid of clowns.
I'm excited. I want to see them carrying their little like dog around and stuff, and hopefully even like the cotton candy cocoons can be seen. But the only problem with is if they're a roaming horde, because those suits are big and bulky. So it would almost have to be like the Megan Horde, where there was set times but random spots. So
I definitely, with it being a street experience, I wouldn't want it to be planned. Like I want it to be like from out of nowhere.
Yeah. Or if it's like male zombies, where they just have like a designated area. Like if they're in Sting Alley, I mean, I walk through there all the time. I got to see my boys. I love the Killer Clowns, and I'm looking forward to this and to seeing this in the streets.
Yeah, as am I. I'm gonna cue you up for this next topic. You want to take us into our?
Which controversy you want to get into?
Let's go to the Pandora leak first.
All right. So, if y'all haven't seen it already on Twitter, it's all over Twitter. There was a leak of a house in a commercial on Pandora. And this commercial, the house that was on it has not been announced yet. And I'll play that commercial right now.
Universal Orlando Halloween Horror Nights. Select nights August 28th through November 1st. Scream through the Prince of Darkness's kingdom in a haunted house based on the music of Ozzy Osbourne. Enter a realm of pain and try to escape Pinhead's eternal torment in a haunted house based on the original Hellraiser trilogy.
So
before we get started, Pandora, do better. This is why people stick with Spotify.
I don't know if it was somebody at Pandora dropped the ball, or the Ozzy house is already supposed to be announced, or what happened, because the Ozzy house, as of this recording, has still not been announced yet. So,
is there any chance this was a calculated ploy by HHM?
I don't think so. I honestly feel like somebody dropped the ball somewhere. Like their dates got mixed up. Like like with Scare Zone week going on, I figured it would have been another house week this past week instead of Scare Zone week. I thought it was going to go house, like get our last two announcements out the way, like house last week, house this week, and then go into the next week, which would have been the first week of August, and that would have been Scare Zone week and show week. But they did it opposite. I have no idea why. I don't know if they haven't nailed things down. If they haven't nailed things down, it's getting a little close to the event. Yeah. Not to have things like 100% confirmed, because we do not need another Evil Dead situation that happened a couple of years ago where Evil Dead pulled out the last second and we get Hellblock 4.
And I believe you brought this to my attention. Rumors are that we might potentially have another Evil Dead repeat this year.
Yeah, so there's rumors currently going on that a possible IP might have pulled out of the event, but it's not been confirmed. Nothing has been said by Horror Nights or anything like that. We will know as soon as y'all will know as soon as we know. So we'll put that out on all our socials if something like that was to happen. But hopefully not, because me and you actually went and saw Evil Dead. So if it is Evil Dead, and which makes me the reason why I think it might be Evil Dead is because of this commercial also. Which I hope if it is Ozzy that pulled out, I hope it isn't because of this commercial.
Yeah.
But
then what do you put in its place? Just another
They would have to do an original concept, like what they did with Hellblock Horror. You could tell it was an Evil Dead Rise house, but they just slapped a couple different things, like changed it up real quick. But hopefully no IPs have pulled out. I hope the event is going to be what it's supposed to be, like what it's been on the spec maps all year.
I mean, that would be very unfortunate if a leak like that changed a course of a house that could be as iconic as Ozzy, especially with the timing.
And yeah, I hope if it's one of the two. I hate to say it, I hope it's not Ozzy.
Yeah, I mean, to give a brief review of Evil Dead Burn, I mean, it was okay. It really wasn't.
It was an Evil Dead film.
Yeah,
pretty much. I mean, it was the movie was great. Like the only thing that I didn't like about the movie was the editing. Like the movie had a good story to it. It was just the editing for me that messed, because it was just jump cut, jump cut, jump cut, jump cut. And
Needless to say, wait for it to come out on your preferred streaming device. Don't waste any money buying tickets to a theater.
Or if it's still out in theaters, you got to go do your homework before it comes, if it does come.
Yeah, it may be your cup of tea when it comes to horror. It just wasn't ours.
Yeah, like D says, it's not for me. But
the next thing, we probably should have started the show with this, with it being such a sour topic. But you want to go ahead?
We're going to end on something else other than this sour topic. But
go ahead and pull that tweet up.
The next unfortunate news for us, at least. Why don't you read that tweet, D?
So Universal Orlando unfortunately breaks the news that, hello, as we continue to evaluate our offerings in an effort to provide the best Halloween Horror Nights experience for all guests, we have discontinued all Fear with Express Pass products. Other Fear Pass options will go on sale soon. Visit this website for details. So our original plan to get Fear with Express has been killed before it started.
Yep. Which, I mean, it is. A lot of people are very upset about this. Like, people that have been going 20 plus years are talking about they're canceling their reservations and are no longer going to go to the event. Which I'm like, everybody, you just got to calm down. Universal would not do this unless it was in the betterment of the event. Because y'all saw how Express was last year. Express lines were sometimes longer than standby lines.
I mean, so in a roundabout way, it lessens that, but let's not get it twisted. It does align their pockets a little bit deeper, making you buy Express every day.
And from what I've heard too, there is a such thing called Express Now in the park, and it's currently being used for rides. So say you wanted to go get on Velocicoaster right now. It's a 2.5 hour wait. You can go buy Express Now for $20 and walk up to it and get on the trip or get on the coaster instantly. So I felt like they've been trying this in the actual daytime part for a couple months now, and I could see this potentially coming to Horror Nights where you buy an individual house, and you could even buy, like, I feel like they would, because most I looked, and most Express passes now for single nights are $200 a piece. Like, that's another thing. They went up on the prices of each Express after this announcement, which is, it's kind of a money grab because they know that people are going to buy them.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to get some backlash from this, but at the end of the day, people are going to come to the bit. People are going to buy the Express if they don't want to wait the 2.5 hours.
If you're canceling your whole trip because of this, walk in somebody else's shoes for a day. Like, I mean, our passes are now going from $1,200 a piece down to like $350, $400.
Yeah, it's a sour. I mean, it's a sour like release for just speaking for you and I, because I mean that's what we were originally going to plan to do.
Yeah,
but, I mean, nothing else has saved us some money, and we might have to stand in some lines 75% of the time, but we could still go out and get individual days if need be.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we're going to get an individual day. We know for sure. We already have one planned that we're going to do it on with our big trip.
Yeah, even getting Express for 2 days out of the week we're going to be there, you're still paying half the price than what we had planned to.
Yeah. What's crazy, because with the Frequent Fear Plus, which is like the second tier, it includes the end cap and beginning Saturdays. Like that ticket was like $1,100 last year, and it came with 40 nights of Express. If you were to buy individually 40 nights right now, like individual nights, it would be $10,000. Like for each individual night, if you were to buy, so yeah, you're paying like an extra $1,000 for 40 nights. That means Universal is losing $9,000 on that ticket. So, and plus they've been talking about it. They've been trying to phase out or limiting Express for the past 3 years now. So everybody knew it was coming. Like they've been telling you with their actions for the past 3 years that, because the first time they did it, they limited it, but it wasn't really like that limited. Then in HHN 33, they limited a little bit more. Guess what? Some people missed out on the tickets. And then last year, they really limited it. And a lot of people missed out on the Express tickets.
So, I mean, everyone that were fortunate enough to get it was spoiled to begin with, but it was
Yeah.
never meant to stay.
But I mean, it's just waiting some lines. Now you might actually get to appreciate the event. Grab you a drink or a cocktail before you hop in it. All of us normal people in the line, we are fun to hang around. I promise. We could trade some bracelets. I'll have some stickers for you. Whatever you need, I'll be there and I'll have it for you.
And if you're not the sociable type, nothing more better to pass the time than listen to your favorite Into the Fog podcast episode while you're waiting for your
Absolutely. House. Or like we did last year and watch some football.
That whatever floats your boat. But this is very first world problem to be sulking over. I mean, it is what it is. We're still going to be going. We're still going to have a great time. It just means we gonna probably have some later nights than what we probably could have. But let's be honest, even if we had Express, we were definitely still going to stick around the entire night.
Yeah, absolutely. My thing is, this isn't going to ruin the event for me. I'm going to go to Horror Nights. I'm going to love it because it's Horror Nights. Yeah, I might have to, like you said, we might have to wait 45 minutes to an hour now versus like 20 minutes. Which, on the night we get Express, guess what? We'll be waiting back 20 minutes.
But I mean, putting it that way, Express is a privilege. It shouldn't be an expectation.
Yes, and like I said, us regular folks in the standby line, come hang out with us. We're not that bad, I promise. Hey, I'll even share my phone and let you watch football with me if you want to.
Maybe you'll be able to give him some fantasy football advice.
Yeah, or maybe help us with a parlay so we can buy an Express ticket for the next day.
We can collectively create a parlay prospect, whatever your
I'll even pay it out to you. I'll Venmo you if you put in on it. But so now that sour feeling of not having Express is done, we get to end it with two good things. And that is, boom, trusts have appeared in front of the Mummy extended queue. That means the tribute store is going back on where it's supposed to be. It's not going to be in the arcade. We're going to have a lot more space. There will be actual storytelling, and I cannot wait to see this tribute store because last year's it sucked. I ain't gonna lie, it was not good, especially compared to your first year when we walked in and they had the signs up. It was just great. We got to see
it looked more like a pop-up shop than an actual store.
Yeah, last year's did. It didn't help that was the exit also for the Mummy ride. So it was just a constant flow of traffic, and it was way too small of a space.
Felt rushed every time you went in there.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that it's going back home. I cannot wait. We're going to we'll film everything inside for y'all. We'll put it on the YouTube. We'll film all the scare zones, stuff like that. And also, another thing that popped up today, actually, Hellraiser has been confirmed to be in one of the new Sprung tents.
So not in soundstage like it was
on the last spec. Yep. Because it originally was supposed to be back here on one of these new tents. That's what it said right beside Centers. There was going to be the two tents in the back. And then it got moved up to where, I want to say where Grave of Flesh was last year, is where it was supposed to be. And now it's back in the Sprung tents. And I think this is either where Fallout or Galkin was.
I think it'd be the left side. So this would have been where Fallout was last year. Goblin's Feast was the year before.
Yeah, it's either that one or it's Galkin and where the last Monster's house was.
Yeah.
So, which means it's going to be a tight fitting area. They're going to fill in, and it's going to be claustrophobic. And I cannot wait because Pinhead's going to probably make the scream.
Yeah, there's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm excited about this year. I'm looking forward to the next. We got 2 more zones. I think a couple more street experiences, and we have our entire. Well, 2 houses.
2 houses. Okay.
Yeah, because you got Ozzy and Evil Dead. That's the last 2 IP houses left, and then you have 2 more scare zones, which is Central Park, heavily rumored Fortnite, and New York, which is the clowns. Like Art stuff like that could be in there. And then we have the Street Experiences, the Pumpkin Lord, Club Horror. That still hasn't been announced yet. And Males Dying Zombies hasn't been announced yet. And the Chainsaw Horde and Simpsons hasn't been announced yet.
So a lot to look forward to with only a short amount of time. So we'll probably get these announcements hitting our screens very quickly, very rapidly. So as soon as we get the info, we'll pop these episodes out to you guys.
And actually, there's probably going to be an announcement tomorrow because we're recording this Monday, July 20th. So Horror Nights put out their typical, the curtains closing with 7/21/26. So there'll probably either be an IP announcement tomorrow or a Dual Coast Scare Zone announcement like Fortnite. And from what I'm speculating, Frequent Fear is probably going to drop tomorrow. No Express, just your Frequent Fear passes.
So this episode will probably go up on Thursday, 7/23. So if you've already, once you listen to this, your Frequent Fears are probably already dropped and most likely gone.
Live. No, I don't think they'll sell out as much as they did because there's no Express. Yeah, there's no Express. So it won't be as much as a grab as it has been. Which they'll probably, like the Ultimate and the Frequent Fear Plus will probably sell out first like normal. So, I mean, I'll be on there. I'll be sure to grab our Ultimate and our single night Express we already had planned.
Better get them fingers ready to queue up.
I got it.
Well, if you enjoyed this episode, please give us a like. Follow us on all social medias. If you have a preferred social media that you like, we do have a link tree below in the description. Tell anybody that you know that also is a horror fan to follow us on all of our socials. Stay up to date with us on all the announcements and stuff that is yet to come and stuff we get to look forward to along this amazing event. Thank you for listening. Hit the bell if you want to be notified next time we drop an episode. Boy, you got anything before we head on out?
Yeah, just y'all hit that link tree. Give us a follow on all platforms. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, all platforms. And that one link in the link tree in our Instagram into the Fog Pod will take you to wherever you need to go. And you can catch us on we'll respond. Send us some messages. We'll respond to anything on social media. But we'll see y'all in the Fog very soon. We only got about a month away from now.
Yep. The time's getting closer and the clocks are ticking. So we'll see you guys on the next one.
See y'all.